The air in Stuttgart's MH Arena on January 29, 2025 was thick with anticipation for a crucial Champions League phase encounter. VfB Stuttgart, playing on their home turf, hoped to secure a path to the playoffs. However, Paris Saint-Germain arrived with a clear, uncompromising agenda. From the very first whistle, Luis Enrique's men showcased an intent that bordered on the predatory. PSG's tactical setup immediately aimed to seize control of the game's tempo and territory. The Parisians pressed high, aggressively closing down Stuttgart's attempts to play out from the back. This relentless pressure forced the German side into uncomfortable positions, leading to early turnovers and preventing them from establishing any sort of rhythm. The visitors' midfield in particular began to orchestrate proceedings with an unnerving calmness and precision. Stuttgart, for all their pre-match optimism, appeared somewhat overwhelmed by the intensity and fluidity of PSG's early play. PSG's midfield trio of Vitinha, Manuel Ugarte, and the prodigious Warren Zaïre-Emery was instrumental in establishing this early chokehold on the game. Ugarte, operating as the anchor, was a disruptive force, breaking up Stuttgart's nascent attacks with tenacious tackling and intelligent interceptions. Vitinha and Zaïre-Emery, meanwhile, provided the creative spark, their constant movement and incisive passing dictating the flow of play. Around the 10th minute, the deadlock was broken, a direct consequence of PSG's high press and midfield control. Manuel Ugarte, ever alert, pounced on a misplaced pass in the Stuttgart midfield, quickly turning defense into attack. His interception was sharp, his subsequent pass even sharper, finding Vitinha in space. The Portuguese midfielder threaded a perfectly weighted through ball that sliced through Stuttgart's defensive line, a pass that seemed to anticipate Kylian Mbappe's electrifying run. Kylian Mbappe latched onto Vitinha's exquisite pass with breathtaking acceleration. Goalkeeper Fabien Bredlow advanced to narrow the angle, but Mbappe's composure was absolute. He expertly slotted the ball past the despairing dive of the keeper, giving PSG a deserved 1-0 lead. Stung by conceding an early goal on their home ground, VfB Stuttgart attempted to muster a response. They pushed forward with more urgency, trying to disrupt PSG's comfortable possession and create scoring opportunities of their own. The German side showed commendable spirit, refusing to be completely overrun despite PSG's clear technical advantage. However, PSG's defense, marshaled by the experienced Marquinhos and his central defensive partner Milan Skriniar, remained largely untroubled. Gianluigi Donnarumma in the PSG goal was also alert, called into action to make a notable save from a Chris Führich effort. Just as Stuttgart might have felt they were gaining a sliver of momentum, PSG delivered a hammer blow. Around the half-hour mark, Achraf Hakimi, a player known for his attacking prowess from right-back, produced a moment of sheer individual brilliance. Receiving the ball just outside the Stuttgart penalty area, he took a deft touch to set himself before unleashing an unstoppable shot. Hakimi's stunning goal doubled PSG's advantage to 2-0 and significantly dampened the spirits of the Stuttgart players and their supporters. Trailing by 2 goals at the interval, VfB Stuttgart manager Sebastian Hoeneß knew that significant changes were required if his team were to salvage anything from the encounter. At the start of the second half, Stuttgart emerged with a visibly altered tactical approach. They introduced fresh legs from the bench, injecting more energy into their lineup, and adopted a much higher defensive line. This was a clear gamble, an attempt to compress the space in midfield and put more pressure on PSG's ball carriers further up the pitch. The high defensive line, while theoretically offering a route back into the game by squeezing space, also presented a significant risk. It left vast expanses of green grass behind the Stuttgart defenders, an inviting prospect for players like Kylian Mbappe and Randal Kolo Muani. PSG, rather than being flustered by Stuttgart's more aggressive stance, calmly adapted their own game. They began to play more direct passes into the channels, looking to turn the Stuttgart defenders and unleash their speedy attackers into the space behind. PSG's ability to exploit Stuttgart's tactical gamble was perfectly encapsulated by their third goal, a sublime piece of attacking football that arrived around the hour mark. This goal was not about individual brilliance alone, but a testament to the team's cohesive attacking philosophy and the almost telepathic understanding between their star forwards. The build-up was patient yet purposeful, drawing the German side out before striking with devastating precision. The architect of the move was none other than Lionel Messi, who initiated the play with a clever pass, finding Kylian Mbappé in a dangerous area. Mbappé, in turn, demonstrated his growing maturity and unselfishness, drawing defenders towards him before deftly flicking the ball into the path of the on-rushing Randal Kolo Muani. The timing of each pass, the awareness of teammates' positions, and the sheer quality of execution were all hallmarks of a team operating at the peak of its powers. Randal Kolo Muani, who had made a smart run into the box, found himself in the perfect position to apply the finishing touch. The pass from Mbappé was perfectly weighted, taking out the last defender and leaving Kolo Muani with a relatively simple tap-in from close range. The scoreline moved to 3-0, effectively ending the match as a contest. Despite the daunting 3-0 deficit, VfB Stuttgart continued to fight for pride and managed to give their home fans a fleeting moment of cheer. In the 77th minute, they finally breached PSG's resilient defense. The goal came from their persistent efforts, with striker Serhou Guirassy finding himself in the right place at the right time. He rose well to meet a cross into the box, directing a well-taken header past Gianluigi Donnarumma. However, any faint hope of an improbable Stuttgart comeback was extinguished almost immediately by the genius of Lionel Messi. The Argentine maestro, who had been instrumental in creating PSG's third goal, decided it was time to etch his own name onto the scoresheet. Responding to Guirassy's goal with swiftness, Messi embarked on a trademark solo run. He picked up the ball in midfield, glided past two bewildered Stuttgart defenders with effortless grace, and curled an exquisite left-footed shot into the far corner. The final whistle confirmed a resounding 4-1 victory for Paris Saint-Germain, securing them a coveted playoff spot. That's our match analysis. What did you think of the game? Let us know in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more football content. Thanks for watching.